Hello, Lockport Township High School District 205 parents, community members, and students. Dr. Robert McBride, Superintendent, with your board meeting brief for our Board of Education meeting on Monday, April 20th, 2020. We made history with this board meeting because it was the first remote virtual board meeting in district history, a sign of the times of the COVID-19 pandemic. And I do anticipate that our next two board meetings will also be virtual on May 4th and May 18th. It is important to our Board of Education that members of the public can access these virtual meetings. So please know that we will always post at least 48 hours in advance on our lths.org website the board meeting agenda and the instructions for members of the public to join the virtual meeting and participate in public comment if they choose to do so through email. Thank you. For April 20th, we focused in on two important topics, the LTHS Virtual High School that we are now operating, and some important district financial matters. In terms of the LTHS Virtual High School, we now know, because of Governor Pritzker's announcement last Friday, that traditional school will not resume this academic year due to school closure. We continue to offer a virtual high school, and I shared with the board the many efforts that our teachers are making to engage students and provide lessons and activities where students can participate in learning. Also, I shared many of the professional development experiences that our teachers have undergone to become virtual teachers in a very short amount of time. I shared with the board how our students are receiving lessons and activities, that our teachers are using Google Classroom or PowerSchool to alert students via email that new content and new activities have been posted. And those new content and activities and lessons will be posted every single day. The anchor of our LTHS Virtual High School schedule are the office hours that our teachers will offer every day to students and parents so that they can access our teachers with questions either via phone or via email. We've created a schedule that we hope is flexible so that students can access lessons and activities anytime during the day that fits their family schedule and their home schedule. One of the most difficult issues that we've faced is grading and assessment in this virtual world. We know that grades indicate many important things. They indicate levels of performance. They signal to students if they have acquired and gained a credit, and they tell us if a student is ready to move on in the next course sequence in a series of classes. We are using letter grades A, B, C, and D to communicate levels of proficiency to students. We hope that students who have a C or a D will move that up to an A or a B, and we certainly hope that students with an A or a B will maintain those good grades by participating and engaging every single day. We've put some safeguards in place through our student support services for students who are having difficulties for whatever reason engaging and participating. And to date, we have, through our guidance counselors and deans and social workers and psychologists, engaged 700 students and families in terms of getting back in the game with virtual learning. Also, we do not plan on assigning F grades this semester. We don't feel it's appropriate given the interruption to traditional instruction that we've had. And finally, we will not be offering final exams at the end of the school year, again, given the interruption that we've had this school year. I shared with our Board of Education our focus on communications, that during this virtual high school period, we are trying to provide timely, clear, direct communications to parents and students, and always post all of those communications on our lths.org website. We continue to provide meals and technology support throughout the week during this crisis. Also, I have a very important announcement for our class of 2020. Upon a very deep reflection and analysis of how many seniors have met the community service requirement, our Board of Education did vote to waive the community service graduation requirement for the class of 2020. It's just not possible for most of our seniors, given what we're undergoing right now with COVID-19, to complete the type of community service that we would envision. But we will make plans to honor the almost 240 students who have made that community service graduation requirement. So look for more on that later. This week, we'll really be focusing on our calendar, both in terms of May, June, and into the summer with summer camps, summer school, fresh start, and more. So please look for communications on how we'll handle several calendar dates. And I shared with the board that Wednesday, April 22nd, is Administrative Professionals Day, Secretaries Day. Our secretaries, our office professionals are so valuable in terms of what we do every day in traditional school and certainly what we're doing now with virtual high school. So thank you to our secretaries. In terms of financial matters, we started that with a discussion of something called our tentative amended budget. Our board approved a budget in September that set our finances for the school year. But with this COVID-19 crisis, we have had to amend that budget. And our tentative amended budget is our way of briefing the board and you as a public that we have had to change our budget, but we have not changed our bottom line. We have to work within our means. So our tentative amended budget signals how we have moved money around to meet the challenges of the COVID-19 crisis and at the same time, say no to other expenditures that we just cannot make at this time because of those new challenges. I feel it's important to be transparent and upfront about how we have changed our budget without changing our bottom line. But as a school district, we do have expenditures that we have to meet. So our board also made several approvals. They approved the lease of activity buses in the hope that next year we will be back to normal with traditional schooling. They also approved the lease for 3 years of laptops for our teachers. Now more than ever, important for our teachers to have the right technology resources. Also, our Board of Education approved a very important resource for our math teachers, a resource that will benefit freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior classes both with virtual and text material to support their mathematics learning. We also move forward with the final phase of a construction project that we have had at the A fields in the center of Lockport. We feel it is important to, as a public body, get people to work, finish this project, and move forward with it as responsible stewards of taxpayer dollars. So we want to gift that both to our athletics department, our physical education department, and to our community. We hope that that is good public spending. And we continue to do all the things that we have to do to maintain our grounds and to maintain our buildings. What I've learned in times of economic crisis is when you pull back from basic maintenance, you pay for it later. For example, we do a one-time application a year this Saturday of herbicide, basically weed control on our fields, which might seem to be an expenditure that we could just avoid this year. But sure enough, and you might know this if you're a homeowner, weeds can destroy a field easily in the summer. And then we end up paying 4, 5, 6 times as much to remediate and restore that field later. The same is true with the interior of all of our buildings. If we don't maintain those buildings and we don't keep them going, we pay later. And we're also trying to be responsible stewards in that regard. So thank you for listening to this board meeting brief, and thank you for taking an interest in the work that our Board of Education is doing to support you, to support our students, our staff, parents, and our community. Please stay home, stay healthy, and stay well. And I know that we truly as a community are best together, and we will make it through this crisis to a time next year when we are back together to a traditional live high school experience. Thanks so much.